What's going on, insecticidal gang? Welcome back. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about my process, and again, this is my process on how I collect my seeds from my Sarracenia flowers. It's late July. We're going into August in the next couple of days, so it's gonna be time for some of these flowers to become ripe. And some of you, this is your first time ever collecting your own seed and have absolutely no idea how to do so. So follow me and I'll show you how I do it. I know there's multiple ways, but like I said, this is my way for doing it. And hopefully I can help somebody out there out. Let's go. All right, first and foremost, these are the tools that I'll be using. Just some run-of-the-mill stuff that you probably already have around your house. Of course, this is the flower, but the only thing that's not shown right now that comes in later in the video will be some bags that you see. A lot of us use the mesh bags to cover up our flowers. I'm gonna bring that later on in the video, but right in here I'm just taking all of the petals and the umbrella off of the flower and getting that stuff out of the way because you don't need it. And then next I'm gonna cut off the actual stem of the flower. Now this flower probably could have stayed on the plant for a little while longer. I had two of them that were almost ripe, not quite, and then another two that were dried out and ready to go, but I just took them all off because they came from the same plant, so I just wanted to keep all of them together. And as you'll see once I crack this thing open, like, all right, so this is the fruit, this is where all the seeds are, so I use this little tool just to squeeze it a little bit. And as you can see, like I said, this one wasn't quite ready. It's still pretty soft. Once they get a little hard, it'll crack open like a nut. So I'm just breaking it open with my fingernails, and you'll start seeing the seeds falling out. Here's a snapshot of what Sarracenia seed looks like. Each seed pod has 5 or 6 chambers where the seeds grow. So what you do is you just pull each one of them off, and then you have to break them open and then just kind of poke the seeds out. And I like to do it on a sheet of paper, or this is just a piece of cardboard that I cut off of a box. And you just take each one of those lobes and go through and get the seeds out. If they're tough to get out, you can use like the scissors or one of your tools to scrape them out. But you just want to take that seed pod, which is the round ball shaped thing that's in my hand, and you just go in and knock those seeds out, and then you just keep peeling the layers back until you have them all. All right, so here's one of the ones that are super dried out. Once you see them like this on the plant, you can definitely cut it off. They're ready to go. You see the color of the seed pod is gray instead of green like the last two. I just fast forwarded through the second one because it was the same as the first, and I wanted you guys to really see this part. So here you'll see how it cracks open and stuff like a nut. See, I'm just gently squeezing each one of those to loosen them up so that I can get my fingernail in there and pry it open. Now, you want to be careful because on these dry ones, the seeds will just fly out of them. So you want to make sure they don't just shoot all over your space, your workspace. So there you go. There you can see the seed down inside the pod, and I'm just gonna again gently scrape those things out. And you can see how much easier the seeds are just falling out of there. Because out on the plant, eventually that seed pod will just crack open and the seed will just drop out right around the bottom of the mother plant. So yeah, same deal here. I'm just gonna go through, peel those lobes off, and then just knock the seeds out onto the working surface, whether that be cardboard or whatever you decide to use. All right, so we went over the collecting part. So now let's go over the cleaning part. Now, as you can see right here, before I touch anything, you have a ton of debris in there with the seed. And you don't have to do this, but it's good practice for, reducing the likelihood of seeds molding while you have them in storage, or even when you're stratifying and stuff like that, because of course Sarracenia seed has to go through a period of stratification, which I have a video on. I'll link it up here. But what you want to do is get that debris out of there. But I mean, just looking at it from right here may look like a daunting task, but shout out to my good friend Fred P. I feel like I say that in almost every video because I've learned so many crazy but simple methods from him. But he showed me how to do this. All you do is take the seed, and it would help if I did this on a bigger surface, but for the purpose of this video, it's easier to just do it right here. And I'm going to switch to a sheet of paper in a second because this divot in the cardboard was kind of getting in the way. But all you do is swipe the seeds across the surface, and because the seeds are heavier, they'll separate from the debris. All right, so here you'll see the cleaning process in action. You just knock the seeds over and you see all of this debris on the paper. I just used the card to knock that away. And I kept having to, clean the card off, because the stuff was sticking to it. So eventually I switched to just a sheet of paper that I folded up. And that made it a little bit easier because the debris and stuff and even the seeds didn't stick to it. It was easier to separate them. But this is a tedious process. But man, I got very little mold on my seeds when I started doing this after Fred taught it to me last year. So if you see any seeds in there, you want to get those out. So what you're looking for is any trash that's remnants of the seed pod, that's underdeveloped seeds, any of that stuff, those underdeveloped seeds aren't going to germinate ever. So just kick those out too. And like I said, it's just less debris that goes into your pots and also goes into, your storage and stratification, so that you have a little less stuff going in that does have the opportunity to mold. But you just do this portion for as long as it takes. Like I said, it's tedious work, and a lot of times you don't want to do tedious work, but tedious work typically saves you time on the back end. All right, so now that we've gotten the seed about as clean as it's ever going to be, I transfer the seed to one of these mesh bags and hang it out to dry for a day or two, especially since I had those 2 seed pods that weren't even dried out completely yet. This just further eliminates any type of mold and moisture from affecting the seeds. After they dry out, I put them in these brown coin envelopes that you'll see in a second. I put those coin envelopes in like a mason jar or any type of airtight container, Tupperware, anything like that, with something that absorbs moisture like cotton balls, rice, or the little things that come in your pill bottles. I'll throw a couple of those in the mason jar as well, just to keep any type of moisture out of the seeds. Then I put that container in the refrigerator. Once you have done all of these steps, they usually will store for, some people have said they germinated 10-year-old seed. So I want to see how long I can keep some on deck.